Hey, what's up guys? This is Law TV Geek Dad Vlog, and today we're talking about the Baby Trend travel system, and we're going to go into depth with this. So we're going to talk about everything with this stroller, all the benefits, all the advantages, the disadvantages. So we start off here and we're going to show you that pretty much the brakes work really well. You push these down and it doesn't really move very much. It's kind of hard to get them in there, but of course, if you're using your feet, it makes it a little bit easier. You want to make sure it's in there though, and the stroller will not move, especially if you're on concrete or something like that. It won't move at all. Here I'm on the floor and it slides a little bit, but it won't move if the baby's just sitting in there. And then if you want to release the brakes, you lift it up and it moves pretty, fluid, and it only has 3 wheels, so it's very easy to turn, especially even when standing still. It can almost do a 360 turn. And here we're pushing it around and everything. I'm showing you how to push it down with your feet to make it stop moving using the brakes. And also you have at the top there is a mechanism to bring down the handle and then also fold it up. So you pull those levers on the side to fold it up, and it actually stores away pretty nicely. It's very thin, very small. We put it in the trunk usually and just leave it there. And it also unfolds pretty quickly. And we're putting on the seat for when the baby is usually a little bit older. I think once the baby reaches somewhere around like 25 pounds or so, 20 to 25 pounds here, and you put the baby in the seat, and it has the canopy, which keeps the baby from getting any sun, getting the sun in his face or in his or her face. And there's a little flap on the back here that you can let down and bring up. Usually you bring it up just so you could see the baby. Like sometimes they're sleeping or they wake up or something like that. You just want to check on them. There's some accessories you probably would want to get with this, like on windy days or something like that. You throw a plastic cover over the canopy, so you can keep mosquitoes out, wind out, whatever you need to do to protect the baby. It's a little difficult to bring up that flap on the top of the canopy sometimes and then wrap it in the little string that they got, but once you get it, it's fine. Like, it takes a little bit of practice, I guess. And bring that back down, and that's pretty much it for that. It also the seat also comes down. It tilts to so it can be horizontal, or so like when the baby's sleeping, you can let the baby lay back. And I think that's a great accessory to this stroller. Like, it's so compact, it's so easy to use, you can do so much with it. And like when you're in a situation where you're walking with the baby, there's certain things that you might just want to do, and like switching the seat around and making sure that you can see the baby. And I think that's great. Like, you could easily switch the seat around. And then you can also tilt it. You could tilt it back and forth. Of course, removing the seat is very easy, but then you got the car seat that comes along with it, and that's usually the one that you're going to start with. So you want to make sure that the sides, where the button is, those snap in securely. There's just some easy snap buttons right on the side where you push them to take the car seat out, and you want to make sure they're always snapped in securely. And then of course the car seat has the shoulder straps and the seat belt that it buckles into. It's very hard for babies to push that or anything like that, so the baby is very safe. And I have to use like a little bit of strength in order to get the button to push and release the belts. But then also, in order to tighten it, you got the button at the bottom to loosen and tighten. And then of course you could switch this around just like the baby seat. It's very easy to use. This one doesn't tilt like the seat does, but of course you won't really need it to, because the car seat tilts back just slightly, like with a 45-degree angle. And of course you can see at the back here, it's the straps come to like a Y angle, and they come in and strap on there, and you could take those parts off. You gotta slide them through the little the opening to get the belts off, and you can move the straps to other slots if your baby's really small, like if they're a newborn. We didn't even have to change it at all, because basically the baby was already quite big. She was born at Nona was born at almost 8 pounds, just short of 8 pounds, I believe. And of course there's a canopy, and you can slide the canopy however you like. And you've got the seat belt, as I was talking about before. The top one, it's pretty much almost flush with the rest of the plastic, so it's hard for the baby to be able to get their finger in there and push it. And of course the bottom mechanism, it clicks in. It's very solid. The red button doesn't easily push in, so the baby won't be able to push it in theirself. And there's a button at the bottom where you loosen and tighten the straps. So you push that in order to loosen and pull it, and it tightens automatically. So that's pretty easy to use. I like that feature on there. And here's the car seat, and we're going to be able to install the car seat in the car, where there is this little metal bar. You always want to make sure there's a metal bar there. Usually all cars these days have that little metal bar. There's typically in newer cars, there's a little slot where you can put this mechanism in to click it on to that bar and make sure it's nice and secure. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this on, but it gets in there. And once you get it in there, then it doesn't come off at all. You want to make sure it's nice and tight though. I'll pull at that strap. Make sure it's nice and snug. Don't want it moving around too much. So I'm gonna install it and show you guys that it won't move around too much. Of course, it doesn't strap on the back end, but you don't need it to strap on that side really. and then it clicks in, and then you want to make sure that with those two little holes, there's supposed to be a red thing there that shows up there once it clicks in, but it doesn't really show that well on this seat. But once you know it's secure in there and you snap it in and it doesn't move, then it should be fine. And at the bottom there's the red button, so you can push that down just so you can lift it up. And then there's the buttons on the sides where the handle comes down, and you want to make sure that's always down when you're riding. And that's pretty much it, guys.
It's not even like I gotta go to work every day. I work from home a lot, and I get to spend a whole lot of time with my kids. I was able to live in Dallas for 2.5 months while this little girl was being born. What's going on? Keto coffee. So good.